Good evening.
Good evening.
It's my pleasure to be here this evening and to share with you why I'm running for re-election to the school board. It has been my great pleasure and honor for the past 5.5 years to serve the citizens of this community as a school board member. And while I did not vote for major issues over the past year, and those were firing of the superintendent, hiring of a new superintendent, I am here to move forward on behalf of education and the children that we serve. There are particular issues of which I would like to focus on with you for a few minutes and would be happy to answer specific questions concerning those issues. First is that I believe we need to consider a larger school board, one that goes from 5 to 7 members. I'm fairly passionate about this issue because I feel with a larger board, we would not have single agenda item folks taking control of a school board and our public education system. Before making a decision on an issue like this, I would want to get community input, and I am moving in that direction currently. Secondly, I'd like to talk about the school board and our superintendent. First and foremost, I feel we need to be driven by a strategic plan. Part of that strategic plan is for the school board and the superintendent to have mutual goals where there is accountability, not only on behalf of the school board, but on behalf of the superintendent. Currently, we have no strategic plan in place. The superintendent has no goals. That is not to say that this superintendent isn't working to move forward, but there has been no collaborative effort in designing those goals. Again, I feel the focus needs to be on a strategic plan with specific goals on paper so that there is accountability on behalf of our superintendent. Thirdly, I'd like to talk about our budget. This is a very difficult year for public education systems. However, that having been said, I don't believe that we should rush to decisions, cutting here or chopping over here, but we need to look at the entire budget, make decisions with community input, and that's right, I'm running for re-election. I'm Kathleen Curatolo, and I'm running for re-election in District 2. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, hello, and thank you for having me here this evening. I am Rick McCluggage, and I am running for School Board District 2. Here we are 3 weeks from the election. The question is asked to you, Collier County voters, who do you trust with your children's education, the quality of your teachers, and your tax dollars? Your decision will impact our community for the next 4 years. What qualifications are you going to use as a voter to make your choice? Is it necessarily college degrees or members of other boards that make you a qualified candidate? Those are important, but I think what really matters is a commitment to the students. What I bring to this table is a lifelong service to this community through my business, through my family, through my relationships established at our schools. I know I can make a difference. In the last few weeks, I have spent time with teachers, district employees, and administrators, and I have heard their concerns, and I will continue to hear them after I'm elected with an open-door policy. As a concerned and involved parent, what I have to offer is an understanding of the real needs of other parents and our students. I know our students want to be challenged academically and physically. I know parents need to be more involved in their children's education, and they need the opportunity to do that, and I will do just that. My decisions on the board will be based on community involvement through committees, staff recommendations, parents and students who raise their concerns to me. As a board member, I will continue to visit the schools, meet with administration, and interact with teachers. There has been some concern with the superintendent's vision for the district. Let me reassure you that as the only candidate that has met with and discussed the issues, and although I don't agree with County schools. In turn, that pride will be restored back to the school system. Thank you.
Good evening. It's a pleasure being here. It feels so welcoming. And, I've always lived by faith, family, and friends. And that's what's guided me during my tenure so far on the school board. My name is Linda Abbott. I ran for the school board 8 years ago because I saw the needs that my children had. And I was so concerned about those children who maybe didn't have an advocate for them, didn't have a parent who spoke English, or was assertive enough to really understand and advocate for that child. And I thought that we needed to pull together as a community. I believed in phonics. We have phonics now. Tallahassee said you can't pass the 3rd grade until you can read sufficiently. That was a wonderful thing that happened. Unfortunately, it had to take that kind of an act in order to force us to use something that was truly incredible. I've always been guided by my heart. That's why I made the decision that was not easy to get rid of our previous superintendent and to hire a new superintendent. We needed someone who was not beholden to this county. We needed someone who was willing to come in and make hard decisions. And truly, we have eliminated a lot of the good old boy, who you know type of hiring. We've had employees who have had sexual relationships that have given them advantages over others. We have not all decisions have been made on behalf of the students. When I voted to relieve Mr. Baker of his duties, I knew that it was on behalf of our students. It certainly wasn't. For me, that was the hardest decision I think I had ever made, because I've taken an awful lot of grief and personal attacks for doing the wrong thing. But I know in my heart that it was the right thing because it was right on behalf of our students. For the first time, we're focusing on academics. We're looking at trends in the progress of our children, tangible methods of improving our education, and how to actually focus on academics. And in this dire time, funding-wise, we have managed to keep intact the activities, the clubs, the athletics, and those things that make that child well-rounded, related arts, the music, the bands. And so we're not touching those components of our education. It's all about the students. If it wasn't for the students, you wouldn't need any of us up here. Again, I'm grateful for the opportunity that you've afforded all of us, because it truly is a blessing to be in America and have this fabulous opportunity. Thank you.
Adrienne Markopoulos, District 4. Thank you for having me this evening. I'd like to start off by telling you a little bit about myself. Currently, I'm employed at the David Lawrence Center. I supervise the DUI program as well as the domestic violence program. I think that these are essential programs in the community because they serve to help people and to keep the community safe. It is that passion and commitment to community that led me to run for office for the school board. What I've seen since I've been here a short time, a little less than 2 years, and again, like I've said previously, people have asked me, you've only been here a couple of years, should you run? And my question to them is, how long do you have to live here before you care? I've lived here long enough to care. I'm getting involved, put my name in the hat, so to speak. Again, back to my commitment and my passion for community efforts. This commitment has driven me to be involved with the school system, and like many of you in this room, I've seen a crisis between the school board, the administrators, the community, and the students. And those who suffer are truly the students. It's not about who's going to get what and who's not going to lose this. It's about the students and making sure they get the best possible education. In addition to being a therapist at the David Lawrence Center, I've also been trained as a former Supreme Court certified Florida mediator, mediating tough issues, helping people identify their differences and come up with solutions. I am solution focused, and I think that's what's needed on the school board. Additionally, I have also been a substitute teacher in Florida and also a former college level teacher in Florida. I have a daughter who also graduated from